Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. How are you all doing? My name is Amanda Ellis, and a very warm welcome to my channel. So, what we are going to be doing today is taking a look at Prince Harry at age 40. And this has come in really via special request from Princess Diana in spirit. If this is the first time that you've ever watched one of my videos, you may not appreciate that I've channeled Princess Diana a number of times, and also I've had a look at Harry a number of times, but not for quite a while actually, because one of the last things Diana said to me with regards to Prince Harry and also Meghan was to leave it alone, let them get on with it, let it play out, and so I did. Now, this video isn't going to be necessarily about their marriage or about Meghan. It's about Harry, because Harry has turned 40 and Harry is Diana's son. And it feels as though it's a special request from her to take a look at him. She's given me a very poignant song, which I had never heard of before, to start off this video. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But also just to say that her energy is very present at the moment around me. Yesterday I did a short video on Instagram and Facebook, and I sprayed some of this, which is a special spray that we created this summer to honour her death at the end of August. It's called the Queen of Hearts, England's Rose, Memories and Remembrance. And as soon as I sprayed it yesterday, there was a very large orb, an angel feather, that went across the screen. I put it up as a short on YouTube yesterday, so you can have a look at that. But yeah, she's just everywhere. So we have her energy here. We also have my team in spirit here. And let's have a look then at Prince Harry at age 40. So first off, I think I'm going to start with the song that she's given me, which is really quite something. So I'm a 1980s girl, as many of you know, and I love the 1980s. I know most of the songs from it, lived through it, breathed it, danced it, etc. Constantly refer to it. I'd never heard of this song. So the song she gave me is one by Peter Schilling. I had to look this up. Peter Schilling. It's called Major Tom, and it's titled Coming Home. Now, how this song was given to me, I will just explain because I think it's quite interesting, is that I decided about 4 o'clock yesterday that I was going to do this video. I set up a little space here for Harry's energy. I've got a photograph of him here, for example. Okay, I've got some of the sprays that I feel are supportive to him at this time. I've chosen the decks that I'm going to be using in this video, and I pulled one card which is linked into Diana's energy, which I'll share in a moment. But I was online at the time, and so I said to Diana, okay, give me a song. You always give me a song. And I went on to YouTube. First video that came up was a compilation of songs from 1983. And I just shuffled it. I just pressed shuffle and wondered what she would give me. And it was this song. And I was blown away, really, by the title, Coming Home. Major Tom, Coming Home, Peter Schilling. Even more so, this morning, I've just gone online to research a little bit more about this song. And I think Peter is German, so the song was originally written in German, I believe. And the two words in the chorus in German, when translated, basically mean completely untethered. Completely untethered. Now, tethering is a word that I often use when I am discussing the Earth Star chakra, which is beneath our feet, for those of you that don't know. And the Earth Star chakra helps us to stay anchored and grounded in this incarnation. I often talk about a silver cord that tethers us to Earth, keeps us safe, basically, keeps us feeling protected, safe, etc. So we've got the opposite here. We've got a 2-word chorus in this song Diana's given, which is completely untethered. And the song is very much about this astronaut who effectively is floating in space. My interpretation of it, what I'm feeling intuitively, has been sent into a different orbit, which is completely unfamiliar to them. My grandfather would use the expression a duck out of water, or a fish out of water. No, fish out of water. That's one of my little things. I always get words wrong. A fish out of water. But yeah, being in a different orbit to the one that you're used to. And how appropriate, really, is that for Harry? He left UK, his birth country, and has ended up in USA but in a particular echelon, is that the right word? A particular culture there with certain people. I'm talking about maybe some of the people he's mixing with that are far removed from what he was born into. Now, of course, he was famously quoted as saying he was on the freedom flight out of UK, couldn't wait to get out of here. But what I'm sensing on his 40th birthday, and that doesn't mean it's going to happen right now, although he is due a trip back to the UK, I believe around the 30th of September, which feels like a soft landing is what I'm hearing. It's like a scouting out the energy type feel to that trip, in terms of, could it work here again? Could I come back? Could I make a home here? Would I be welcome? How long would it take? All that type of stuff. But, I can't make this stuff up. That is what Diana gave me. This song is Major Tom, Coming Home. So that says something in itself. Now, before we get to the cards, I would just like to run through a little bit of the colour numerology and astrology with him, as he has just turned 40, because I feel as though it explains quite a lot about who he is and where he is now. So the first thing to say is that he was born 15th of September 1984. It makes him what we call a 37-10-1. So number 1 is the energy of the leader. So I've just noticed that I haven't got a light on, which is going to bother me. So I'm going to now do that. Hold on. Is that a bit better? Might have made no difference at all, but I feel better lit. I realise now what I'm saying, because of course number 1 is the energy of the leader who wants to stand out, who wants to be in the spotlight. How funny. I hadn't realised. Yeah, so the light is now shining on me. It's as though he's born to be in the spotlight, whether he likes it or not. Again, famously wanting to have a more private life. But it's difficult for somebody with this number 1 energy, because he's always going to have that sort of star quality, that leadership energy that pretty much demands that he is seen. He's seen. Number 37 is linked into the base chakra. So this would be somebody that's come in with well, again, it's this untethered energy, isn't it? Thinking about it, it's not having a solid base chakra. Where is my home? Where is my foundation? Where do I feel safe? Who are the key relationships in my life? May very well point to healing needed with regards to those key relationships, whether they be parental, whether they be spousal, whether they be sibling, whether they be whatever they be, okay? But basically base chakra wounding. Number 10, 3 and 7 make 10. 10 is the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. So destiny. It's a destined path that he's on. There are destined moments in his life. Going to America was certainly one of them. Whether he comes back to the UK on a full-time basis or a part-time basis remains to be seen. But again, that's sort of destined to a degree as well. At this juncture, I will just allude to the fact that obviously I have done readings before on Harry. And just if you've never seen me before, what I effectively have said is that, and I want to see whether this is still true, okay, because I haven't read for a couple of years. I always felt that he would come back and be what Princess Diana wanted him to be, which was William's wingman. That's what she used to call him, when William becomes king. Now, the bridge is so shattered between these two brothers that whether or not that can happen, I don't know. I also was shown a vision a few years ago of reconciliation between the brothers in a garden. And it's interesting because the card that Diana gave me is the card of the Garden of Venus, and it's to do with rest and renewal. So this ties into this prediction I made a couple of years ago, which was the brothers would maybe only come back together upon the death of another parent. I saw this moment in a garden, and Diana is giving me the garden again. But to be fair, I didn't pull this card for William and Harry. I just pulled this card for Harry. And Diana was giving me the Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. You will also know, if you've watched my previous work, that Diana has a very strong Venusian energy. Absolutely is all about Venus, which is the planet of love, partnerships, self-worth, self-love, that path towards wholeness. So you might come in not feeling loved or not feeling worthy, but the Garden of Venus here is saying this is the place that you can return to become whole. And I don't feel that this garden that Diana is showing me is in US. I just don't. I feel it's in the UK. Now, before I've alluded to the fact I felt it was Highgrove, but today I'm feeling a pull up north, particularly to Scotland. Maybe it's Balmoral, it could be, but I don't know. But there is a garden somewhere where Harry is advised by his mother to come back to rest and renewal. And I can't help but also feel that this garden is also England. England is known as the green and pleasant land, and it just feels as though this is the garden. I also want to look at the Camelot energy with Harry. I will say to you that I did pull one card off camera yesterday just to help me get into the zone, as it were. And it's this one, which shows somebody on horseback, and they are there's a long path ahead of them, basically. But the path eventually leads back to the castle. And that castle, by nature, to me, feels as though it's one that it's already been made, it's already present. It's not one that he has built himself. It's one that he is, the title of the card, number 6, is to do with aspiration, honour, trust and ideals. So it feels to me as though Harry's journey is one which has taken him away, but will also one day, and I can't predict what that day is, but one day there will be a return. But it's a long and winding road. And funnily enough, I've had the energy also of George Harrison around me a lot the last few days. When I was channeling Diana, I felt his energy very present, and George Harrison was very much linked into gardening as well as music, but he was very into gardens. So there's something about George Harrison's energy with Harry as well, for some reason, or maybe he's just up there with Diana, I don't know. But anyway, Harry feels as though there is a part to play here within the whole Camelot return. So that's as far as I've basically got. The other thing I wanted to say, linked into numerology, astrology, which I just find really interesting, is yes, he's a Virgo. His ascendant is in Capricorn, which was the same as the late Queen Elizabeth. But the thing that really amazes me, and I didn't actually know this, and it makes a link with me as well, which as a reader is important because I feel as though I know him a little bit better, is he's got Saturn on the midheaven. I've got Saturn on the midheaven, and unless you've had Saturn on the midheaven, I don't think you really get it. Saturn on the midheaven is about duty, it's about responsibility, it's about hard work, it's about knuckling down to it. It's a hard taskmaster, but the rewards come the more that you age, and you have to make peace with Saturn on your midheaven. You can't run away from it. You can't escape from it. I know there has been speculation of substances that he may or may not have taken. I can't confirm or deny that. I haven't pulled cards on it and haven't been told, but I've read it. Certainly, I mean, he said it himself anyway in his book, hasn't he, that he has taken substances and drugs. That to me would be like trying to escape from this Saturn on the midheaven energy, which is, whether you like it or not, Harry, this number 10 energy and this number 1, Wheel of Fortune, destiny, leadership, duty, responsibility is in your blood. It's in your bones. You can run, but you cannot hide, is what I'm hearing. And this isn't like somebody else is calling him back and saying, you have to come back. It's not that at all. Saturn on the midheaven, and I've got this. I've got this running through my blood and bones as well, it is within you. It is this calling. It is this, there is no way out, basically. So you just have to, as I say, make peace with it, run with it, keep walking the path with it, learning the lessons of it. But essentially, it's a path of someone who has got a lot of duty and responsibility on their shoulders. So that's what I've written down here. So let's close this book now. And interesting, this book, I don't know if you can see it in my little split screen, but it says, live by the sun, love by the moon. And I love that because, I don't know, that just feels like such a lovely balance of masculine and feminine. Okay, right. I'm today then going to pull cards afresh and I'm going to see what we get. And I think I'd like to start off with the Camelot deck. Okay. It's a new deck that I've got called Mists of Avalon. And let's just have a look. So we've got this central card, and I'd just like to pull one more that goes with it. So what goes with the card of honour, ideals, trust and aspiration? And we've got the energy of the white heart, new beginnings, awakening, perspective, realignment. This is Harry. Okay, I have to say what I get. I feel as though I want to say growing a pair. Okay, this stag, this white stag, is a powerful masculine energy who is rising, who is realigning, who is awakening, who has a new perspective on life, and who is standing his ground. And that's a beautiful thing to see. Nobody wants to see a crumpled, broken man. They want to see, hopefully, if you've got love in your heart, and that's what Diana would want us to have, somebody who's able to, if not rise like the phoenix, take on the energy of this white heart. It's beautiful. So let me just see what it says in the book about this. I'm just interested. So card number 36 is the card of perspective. And the other thing I will just add in this deck, in these cards so far for Harry, is that they're solo figures. We've got a solo stag. There is nothing else on that card. It's a solo animal. And here on the card of the Return to Camelot, he is solo. He has just himself. It's very much the hero's journey. I just take myself through this life. So he definitely doesn't need any hangers on. And that's been one of my concerns watching him from afar is that there seem to be a lot of hangers-on around him. I'm talking about the circles he's moving in. And I don't know whether that's by his choice or by his wife's choice, but it doesn't necessarily suit him. He has to be his own man. So card number 36 says, there are new beginnings in sight, new ventures, new possibilities, new heartfelt longings are appearing, urging you to move forward. Ask yourself, what is my heart trying to create new in my life? Where do I need to put in place to move in a new direction? Sorry, I didn't say that very well. Remain calm in your center as opportunities present themselves. So it says the white hart was a messenger from the Celtic otherworld and often appeared when something sacred, a law or a code, was being broken. When the white hart entered the hall at Camelot, he was chased by a hound, which then was followed by a damsel who was carried off by a stranger. 3 knights were dispatched to bring back the hound, the hart, and the damsel. This was the beginning of the quest. How interesting is that? Okay. Right. What's on the bottom of the deck? On the bottom of the deck, you can see that we've got the Tour. This is just very, very masculine energy. We have got Sacred Union there as well, but the Tour, masculine energy. This is something only he can do, and I feel as though he needs to be doing it alone for whatever reason. So let's carry on and let's pull some other cards. And I'm going to use this particular deck, which feels as though it wants to talk for him. And I'd like to have a look at what's going on in his life at the moment. And I'd just like to ask Spirit to step in, please, Princess Diana also, to guide the messages here with regards to Harry at 40. What messages are there for Harry at 40? I'm going to keep it really, really open, and I'd just like to see what we get. So, Harry at 40. Let's start with 4 cards, please, and build from that. Let's take that one. We have the 5 of Pentacles is the first card. And the 5 of Pentacles is the card of being out in the cold, basically, being left out in the cold, being left out from some place which has abundance, light, sustenance, nourishment. This person here is barefoot. There's a bit of a begging bowl in their hand, potentially. So we've got the 5 of Pentacles. I'm also hearing the word repentant. There is repentance. We have the Ace of Cups around him. He's hoping that love will be able to revive this state that he's in right now. And I'm very drawn on this card to the fact that we have the fish. I'm being shown the energy of the loaves and the fish, you know, the miracle of the feeding of the 5,000. I'm feeling as though there's a miracle needed. There's a miracle needed in his life at this time. But this cup as well is very Holy Grail. It's very Avalonian. It's very Camelot. Okay, let's carry on. Harry at 40. Let's 3 other cards I'm hearing now. Harry at 40. We've got the energy of the Empress. Now, many people will see the Empress as Meghan. It could be, but I want to give a different interpretation. And remember here, I'm going on my own intuition and just what I'm feeling and sensing. The Empress card, because I pulled a couple of cards from last night, kept coming up for him. Now, you could also say the Empress card is his mother. You could say it's Meghan, but I want to give a different interpretation of this Empress. This Empress to me is all in green. She has corn or barley or whatever it is, wheat beside her. It feels as though it's England. I really feel as though this Empress is England. And I'm saying England as opposed to UK just because Harry was born in England. Let me just pull one other clarifying card on that Empress, please. Can I have a clarification, please, on the Empress? Who or what is the Empress for Harry? Why does it keep coming up? Who or what is the Empress? We've got the King of Pentacles. I think it's England. I really do. Because the King of Pentacles would be Charles, because Charles at the moment owns the material realm, as it were, of the crown. He's holding the crown. Where does that crown reside? Where is it seated? Where is the power seated? The power is seated in England. I mean, I might be wrong, but that's really what I'm picking up here, okay? So home is where the King of Pentacles is. Home is where his father is. Now, we've also got the Two of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I'll take that. It shows two ships sailing. One final card for Harry, please, from this deck. We've got Judgment. We'll take that one as well. We've got the Emperor. And we've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the Tower as well, but I'm pulling a little bit because we could go on and on, but I'm just saying that there is a Tower and there's a Three of Swords there and a Star. Okay, well, shall we stop there? Oh, and the Queen of Cups. Could just keep carrying on, but we'll take those as well. But let me just concentrate on these. So we've discussed these three. Judgment, the Emperor, and the Ten of Cups. Let me just clarify before I say anything. Is Emperor Charles? Is the Emperor Charles? The Four of Swords. I would say so, because the relationship with his father is effectively asleep, on hold, in a resting, dormant place. Four of Swords can also imply sickness and problems with health, which Charles obviously has because he's had cancer or has still got cancer, having treatment for cancer. There's Judgment on this. I feel he wants the happy family back. Now, you could also say this is the happy family with Meghan. But I'm just going with what Diana was giving me earlier about coming home. We've got the Tower and the Three of Swords. Something pretty calamitous happening. Followed by healing and the Queen of Cups, which would be Diana. So there is a Tower moment coming for him and an ending coming for him. But his recovery and his healing is administered by his mother. And I keep wanting to go back to this card, the Garden of Venus. Let me just pull a clarifying card, please, on what is the Tower and the Three of Swords about. What is the Tower and the Three of Swords about? What is the Tower and the Three of Swords about? The Page of Wands and the King of Swords. There may very well be things going on in his marriage, but that's not what this reading is focusing on, or that's not the path I'm being led to talk about in this reading. This Page of Wands is him as a little boy. This is the King of Swords, which is Charles. He has understood that his father means business and that his father has pretty much excommunicated him, or he feels excommunicated. That doesn't mean that Charles doesn't have an open door, but this King of Swords can be quite ruthless. And there is even a possibility here that the King of Swords, Charles being that, cuts him off completely. And I feel as though there's a part of Harry here who's saying, no, I still have a role to play. I still want to be part of this. I still want to be part of this. The Page of Wands is the young Harry up against the King of Swords. Right. Okay, let me put these cards to one side now, and I'm going to spray the Diana energy and see what I get. And then I've got another deck I'd like to look at as well. Before I do any of that, I'd just like to have some water. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm needing to pull one card from here. This is the After Tarot deck, so let's just do this. One card. I feel like I've really got Diana's energy here. She's giving me the Three of Cups. Oh, that's lovely. And she's got, okay, I understand what you're saying, Diana. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Diana is saying, and I don't know in what timescale we're talking about, that there's going to be a reunion. This reunion is based on teamwork. The Five of Wands is about the need for teamwork. And it comes about from having moved away from some particular situation, maybe America, and there's victory. So this, I feel, is Diana saying he will be at some point welcomed back into the fold. I know at the moment, as I'm recording this, it seems unlikely, but I'm going to stick by what I'm getting here. It's what I've seen many times before. I always saw Harry coming back alone, solo, I said this years ago, and walking up the Mall towards Buckingham Palace. I think it was symbolic. I don't think he necessarily has to do it in that way, but it's a solo return back. There's a celebration here. Feels very much prodigal son type energy. I will say at this outset, one of the things I pick up with William is William needs to forgive Harry. And I'm not getting into the whys and wherefores of, oh, you're taking sides. I'm just going with what I'm getting, okay? From William's perspective, he feels aggrieved by what his brother has done and said about his private life, his private moments, his wife, the Queen, etc. He feels aggrieved. He's very, 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 Diana is saying, angry and stubborn. And she's saying, just say something about Cancerians. Okay, so also I'm a Cancerian. So Diana was a Cancerian. William is a Cancerian. Cancerians are cardinal signs. They find it very hard to let go. They can cling on. And they can cling on, what Diana is saying, to a position. And William's position right now with regards to his brother is rock solid in terms of he's out. You know, I want nothing more to do with him. He's hurt me. He's hurt Catherine. That is it. Persona non grata. Goodbye, Harry. But it just feels as though somehow there is a reunion. And whether it's what I've said before with regards to when Charles passes, there is a celebration of the brothers, I don't know. Let's just ask, how can it come about? How could it come about? I don't know whether the cards will answer this. Two cards, how could it come about? A reunion. How could a reunion with Harry come about with William and his family back here in the UK? We've got the card of strength. The Devil card is poking its way out there with the Seven of Pentacles. And I'm just going to say what I get here. I feel as though there is an energy of addiction. There's an addiction energy, whether it's to substances, which he needs to conquer and work at and find the strength to, find the strength to deal with them and conquer them, and then he is welcome back. or this is relationship-wise. We can get tied into codependent, difficult relationships, narcissistic type relationships. I've never picked up the fact that marriage will work. So don't shoot me for that. It's just what I'm picking up. So the devil, yeah, the emperor here. The emperor here is about, you see, the emperor is also about restoring order. It's restoring law and order. So restoring law and order and strength via work, basically. This is to do with addiction. This is addiction energy. He's got some addiction energies. Okay. And as I've said before, and actually my last video before this one was with Matthew Perry, channeling Matthew Perry, was all about addiction. And I said in that we're all addicts to a degree. It's just the degree to which they trouble or influence your life. Some addictions are not as... all addictions are a problem, but you could be addicted to, I don't know, I'm not even going to grade it. All addictions are problematic, but some are really, really toxic. Okay, let's go to Diana. Okay, so let's see what Diana wants to say. Guys, I still don't understand why she keeps showing me herself knitting. This happened last time I tried to tune into her in a video couple back. If you just look back, I did one, and I saw her knitting then. And you know when you're like knitting a scarf or something, it's like she's knitting this really, 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 really long scarf. It seems to be to do with time and the passage of time, and that she's been knitting this thing forever. It's something to do with the cords that bind. We're back to tethering. We're back to something to grab hold of. It's like what am I trying to say? You know, like those, like a rope which you can climb up, something to hang on to. I don't know why she's showing me that. But anyway, more than anything, what I'm feeling in her energy today, let me just see what I'm feeling. Other than that image, I'm seeing her sat down again in this chair. She feels as though she's in a castle. Okay, right, wasn't expecting to see this. This is an energy here of a mother who loves her son without question, but who wants to be free from the smothering energy that can be felt sometimes of his demand for her. And she's showing herself a bit like Rapunzel, actually, in the tower. And it's as though, because that's the thing about the long scarf as well, you know, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And the thing about Rapunzel needing to escape the tower, as it were. But this tower seems to be, it's to do with how she is perceived, how he identifies her. She's showing me a mirror now and wanting to smash the mirror, wanting him to see her whole and flawed and as she really is, and more than anything, free of this tower. It's as though he's boxed her up to such a degree as being this and this alone. And it's like nobody can touch that precious trinket box, because what's inside is who she is. But she says, I'm so much more than that. I'm on the breeze. I'm in the water. I'm in the soil. I'm in the garden. You know, it's as though she wants to have a different type of she wants to be freer in her relationship with her son, to be felt in a different way. So that's quite a personal message, really linked into him, but I wasn't expecting to get that, but it is what it is. Okay, let's just pull an inner child card at this point for Harry, because you can have inner child wounding at any age, of course, but right now, let's just see what his inner child, how his inner child is faring. This deck is an inner child deck, and I will link it below. Somebody sent it to me. It's very good. Let me just close my eyes so I can't see what I'm actually pulling. So Prince Harry, let me see that one. Okay, those two. So that's nice. We've got Play It Out. That one wanted to come out as well, which is on the bottom of the deck. And let's also take that one. Yeah, it's what I just said. She's frozen. It's like he's frozen her in time. He's frozen her in time in terms of what she was, obviously, when he was a little boy, which is what she was. But the thing is, she's so much bigger than that. Her soul is so much more expansive than that. She, look at it, frozen, expansive. She wants to go from a frozen state to an expansive state. And in that more expanded state, she can help him more. It's as though she can't help him much at the moment because he only wants her to be a certain way, as it were. And she is giving him signs, though. So here we've got the feathers. And we've got the energy of Play It Out. So this would be, I guess, with regards to his children or just being around children. Lighten up type energy, really, is what I'm feeling she wants to say. Lighten up. But in a nice way, not in a horrible way. Okay. Interesting deck. Let's, at this point, go to this final deck that I want to use. I also feel as though another beautiful spray for him, and if you're resonating with the, these themes that are coming up for him, but may very well be coming up for you as well, which are to do with estrangement, maybe being frozen in time, wounded inner child, loss of a loved one, working your way back to something that you thought didn't matter but actually is within your essence, and it does. Maybe needing to swallow a bit of pride to do so, all of that. Maybe having a dysfunctional or a broken relationship with father wound. The Joseph energy is very, very good. This is Joseph, father of Jesus, and his energy is one of humbleness. He helps with soul mission. Think about Joseph's soul mission. Very few people ever think about Joseph's soul mission. It's like, people focus on Mary. Joseph is given a nod during the nativity show. But, Joseph had the most extraordinary soul mission to fulfill as well. And to help raise the young Jesus, to support Mary. But it's this fathering energy, really helps with fathering. And then, of course, the rose inner child spray as well. So I'll put links to those below. And, of course, beautiful Diana. Let's put those two together. Let's use this deck, though. This is one of my new decks. It's not my deck. It's a deck I bought new. It's by Colette Baron Reed and Alberto Villoldo. It's called the Charmans Dream Oracle. Prince Harry at 40. Prince Harry at 40. I can't make this stuff up. I can't believe that crap. I can't believe that card. Because it's a new deck. I've never seen that card before. Look at that. Crown Games, right use of power. I'm going to have to read what that card means, but let me just see if I can interpret it myself. I'm straight away, I'm taken back to his past life as Henry VIII, which I have said repeatedly over many years. I believe he was Henry VIII. Now, what did Henry VIII do? Henry VIII chopped off people's heads. Here we've got a dismembered head, okay? Because the head should be up here on top of the shoulders, but it's not. The head is down here. There was a misuse of power in the lifetime as Henry VIII. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work that one out. So his lifetime now is about how to use his power well, the right use of power. What does that look like? He's learning that, and how fascinating is that card? I can't believe it. Anything else I want to say before I look at the actual meaning in the book? No, let's go to the book. What does it say, guys? Number 8. And Crown Games. Crown Games. I'm almost wanting to say that from a soul perspective, And if you've watched my videos on multidimensional adventures of the soul and soul adventures, and that we've been everything and we come here, we before we incarnate, we choose what roles we're going to play. And the people that betray us, the people that love us, the important people in our life, they've all put their hand up to play all those different parts. Because what I'm sensing here is from a higher perspective. It's like the Charleses of this world, the Dianas of this world, the Megans of this world, the Williams of this world. They all signed up for everything that's happened, that's gone on, to help Harry step into his power. And how interesting is that? Because so often we talk about William stepping into his power, because William is the heir apparent and will become king. But yet here we've also got another man who was king, who still has a kingly presence, who still wants to rightfully ride in as that white hart energy into Camelot and take his place at the table as well. So can it be, like Diana always foretold, effectively shared power? She didn't use those terms. She used the term wingman. She knew that William needed Harry and Harry needed William. And the round table by nature, the Camelot round table, is shared ruling. It's a circle rather than a pyramid. So, yeah. Okay, number 8. Let's see what it says. It's to do with leadership, responsibility, accountability, and right use of power. It says there is a game of power played by all people, whether they're conscious of it or not. It concerns who has it and who doesn't, how to get more of it and not to lose that which you have, how to wield it wisely and not to get drunk with it and cause harm. These are the matters you need to ponder now that you find yourself in the crown game too. You want to be on top, the best, the most effective, the most beloved. You may discover that your deep desire to help others is disguising the underpinnings of this complex game. Power and all it entails can be both dangerous and productive, destructive and redemptive. Which will it be for you? Can you forgive without condoning and keep your dignity when challenged? Will you be accountable, amenable to change, or making amends? Can you let go of your need to rescue others? Lead with humility while letting others discover their way home. Now you're learning that empowerment comes with a price and a sacrifice for sovereignty. This is a time to pick your battles, use strategy, and temper your reactions. You have the power to make a beautiful difference on behalf of others. Can you see power as a currency that you must spend judiciously? True power is from the divine, not from ego. The greatest beauty is when power is shared. If you are in a higher position, it's even more important to be kind and respectful. Ask for guidance, it will come. When you stop caring about who wears the crown, true success and influence appear for you. I mean, any parent knows about sibling rivalry, or maybe you are a sibling and you've, experienced it. This is the ultimate sibling rivalry game playing out. William's going to have the crown and I'm not. I used to be the king and I used to have the crown. Who are you to have the crown? I want the crown. It's mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. It's like this tug of war. And I've got Diana in the middle saying, for God's sake, only one of you can hold the crown. But what she's saying is the crown isn't to do with the piece of jewelry. The crown is about what it represents. It's to do with leading with humility, with love, with the heart. It's about being a role model. It's to do with, it's all the qualities of Camelot. Wow. When you let go of who owns the crown or who wears the crown, then you will be at peace. He's not at peace. He wants the crown. This is past life wounding, basically. I mean, I'm laughing because to him, this is all subconscious. I'm sure if you talk to him, he wouldn't actually say, yes, I want the crown. He'd probably say it's the furthest thing that he wants. Subconsciously, he wants the crown. I don't feel he'll get it. I feel it's William's William will get it because it's predestined. Let's pull a card for William from this is the Camelot deck. How interesting this is. Right. One card for William, please. The White Spring. Protection, energy, gratitude, and healing. We've also got the Holy Thorn. Optimism, perseverance, courage, and the sacred. I'll also take that one because when we could go on, we've also got the King Arthur, but I've already channeled that. That I believe he holds the King Arthur energy, but so too does Harry. So too does Harry. That looks very Harry-like, actually. This king here, but they're brothers. It's like with that face, I could see both brothers there because they're both of the same blood. But anyway, I was asking about William. So yeah, we've got the King Arthur card, we've got the Holy Thorn, the Otherworld, and the White Spring. All this reference to whiteness. And this has got nothing to do with race and skin colour. This is to do with white as a colour energy. Harry was the White Hart. Here we've got William, we've got the White Spring, we've got the White Unicorn. They need each other, basically. It's what I've always said. The stag needs the unicorn needs the stag. Both can be renewed at the White Spring. I feel as though this is a pivotal card, the card of the White Spring. It's also the card of card number 5. Let's just see what it says. It says, so this was for William, wasn't it? Free yourself of old attachments that no longer serve you. It's a time of endings, to let go of the old and make room for the new. Embrace your desires and allow your heart to lead the way. But first you must cleanse the old. Be renewed and acknowledge the possibility of change so that you can become the person you always wanted to be. He's been going through, as has Kate, a huge rebirth moment, particularly brought on by his wife's illness. I have read on that before, so I won't repeat what I've already said on all of that. But yeah, huge transmutation, transformation of both of them, Kate and William. The White Spring there, just saying that this process of cleansing is an ongoing thing. Something else. What else was going on? I was wanting to say. I just wanted to reference back something I said about William linked into forgiveness. You see, for a king, King Arthur, he will need to model forgiveness. I don't believe he can go through his kingship holding on to the grievance of what his brother did to him. They both need to come back to each other. So, but it needs to be a private matter. It's not something that's going to be played out on mainstream media on a photoshopped, Netflixed moment. It needs to be, it's very, very, very private. Yeah. Okay, the final thing I'd like to do, I think, is just pull from these cards, which I had. And also, we're going to use the Earth Spray, a nod to Harry's Virgo placement, earthiness. Right, let's see what we get from this little deck. So again, Prince Harry. How is he doing? Okay, right, I realise now I needed to use this deck. We've got the card of dependency. This is confirming what I said about substance abuse and addiction. We've got addiction, attachment, toxicity, and dreams. He's getting messages in his dreams, probably from his mother, but also people from his past, which would include his brother, would include his father, would include his country. I feel he's dreaming of his country, dreaming of his homeland. But this is dulling it all. He's dulling this desire to go back home. His mother is telling him to go back home. Doesn't mean she's saying you've got to leave permanently. It's just you need to be back home for a while, Harry. This is the issue, the dependency. What else? You see this card of dependency, which has got a wine glass. What is that? Looks as though it's bound in chains. The holy chalice, the holy Grail, Camelot, cannot be. You cannot enter until this is sorted. Okay. One other card linked into dependency. He feels happy when he's high. The world feels doable when he's high. Take the air out of the balloon, the helium out of the balloon, and you're just left with a soggy balloon. We have the card of expansion. Whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever it is, or whether it's a person, this dependency, codependency, toxicity is heightening energies of paranoia, making the wrong decision. But transformation is here. I'm hearing you will transform. Look at that, masculine. You will transform. There will be a rebirth. There will be a paradigm shift. Let's remember what this reading started with, which was that song Diana gave to us about coming home and about feeling untethered, being in a completely different orbit. She's saying, come back down to earth, Harry. I mean, maybe literally, come back down to earth. There needs to be a transformation moment. Wondering whether there even needs to be an intervention moment, actually, but let's pull one more card from here. Harry at 40. We've got the card of overwhelm and plenty. We've got the card of cosmic womb, the divine feminine. This is Diana, the cosmic womb. Come back where it's safe, where you're held, where it's familiar. The womb, where it's familiar, where you can be taken care of. Right now, there is this energy of overwhelm, anxiety. But there is resourcefulness, the horned cactus, resourcefulness. He can be very prickly, as in a cactus, you know. Doesn't want, just keep away. I don't need any help, thank you very much. I'm fine as I am. No, you're not. But you have got within you the ability to turn this around. Final card. Prince Harry at 40, final card. Winter's dream. I think it's over this winter. It feels as though, yeah, straddling worlds. I don't know why this winter seems to be important for him. There's a gestation period. Oh, the rebirth. Okay, the rebirth happens over the winter months. There is this going within to come back out. I thought I had an example of this on my desk, but no, I don't. So yeah, he needs to go within, curl up into a little ball, go within, rest, recuperate, gestate the new, the next chapter of his life, to then come back out again. Yeah. Let's end with Earth. So if he's feeling untethered and in a different orbit, let's earth this energy. Prince Harry. I'm seeing him planting a tree. I'm seeing him planting a huge tree. I think this is symbolic as well. There's that phrase about when you plant an acorn, you don't get to see the oak tree that will grow in, hundreds of years' time. I'm feeling it does feel like England. It feels like Windsor, to be perfectly honest. I'm in Windsor Park, and it's interesting. It's a tree, but it's an oak tree. It's an oak tree that I'm seeing. He's beside this oak tree, and he's planting it. Be with the trees is what I would say to him. Be with the trees, be with the forests. Tree wisdom will also help the healing. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Share it if you found it resonant. And I will see you very soon for something else. There's always something different on my channel. You never quite know what you're going to get. Thank you very much. Lots of love. Bye-bye for now. Bye.